Hello, YouTube. I will read you from a book, if you care to listen. It's a good book. Very good book indeed. Kendo Dark XX Pluck. I read this book a long time ago. I must have been 18. It's so profound. It was the first book from that particular writer. And then I just carried on and read everything what I could find from him. The writer is Fyodor Dostoevsky, and the book is called Crime and Punishment. A popular book. I mean, the name. Not that many people bother reading these days. The thing is, when I first read the book, I did not pay that much attention to the quote I'm gonna read you now. In fact, I did not pay any attention to these words. There was no need. But last week, this section was brought to my attention again. And I decided to share it. See you in a second. So here it goes. He remained in hospital throughout all the end of Lent and Holy Week. As he got better, he remembered the dreams he had had as he lay there in fever and delirium. In his illness, he had dreamt that the entire world had fallen victim to some strange, unheard of, and unprecedented plague that was spreading from the depths of Asia into Europe. Sounds familiar? Everyone was to perish apart from a chosen few, a very few. Some new kind of Trihanae had appeared, a microscopic creatures that lodged themselves in people's bodies. But these creatures were spirits, gifted with will and intelligence. People who absorbed them into their systems instantly became rabid and insane. But never had people considered themselves so intelligent and in unswerving possession of the truth as did those who became infected. Never had they believed so unswervingly in the correctness of their judgments, their scientific deductions, their moral convictions and beliefs. Entire centers of population, entire cities, and peoples became smitten and went mad. All were in a state of anxiety, and no one could understand anyone else. Each person thought that he alone possessed the truth and suffered agony as he looked at the others, beating his breast, weeping and wringing his hands. No one knew who to make the subject of judgment or how to go about it. No one could agree about what should be considered evil and what good. That's a problem, isn't it? No one knew who to blame or who to acquit. People killed one another in a kind of senseless anger. Whole armies were ranged against one another, but no sooner had these armies been mobilized than they suddenly began to tear themselves to pieces, their ranks falling apart and their soldiers hurling themselves at one another, gushing and stabbing, biting and eating one another. What a terrible dream. All day in the cities, the alarm was sounded. Everyone was being summoned together, but who was calling them and for what reason, no one knew. But all were in a state of anxiety. They abandoned the most common traits because each person wanted to offer his ideas, his improvements, and no arrangement could be reached. Agriculture came to a halt. In this place and that, people would gather into groups, agree on something together, swear to stick together, but would instantly begin doing something completely different from what had been proposed. Start blaming one another, fighting and murdering. Fires began. A famine broke out. Everyone and everything perished. The plague grew worse, spreading further and further. Only a few people in the whole world managed to escape. They were the pure and chosen, who had been predestined to begin a new species of mankind and usher in a new life, to renew the earth and render it pure. But no one had seen these people anywhere. No one had heard their words and voices. Make of it what you will. I am not going to comment. Gowith and Hobart. Kendo Dark XX Black. Good stuff. Enjoy your smokes. Goodbye.